What are my thoughts on money? Well, I don't need a lot of money to survive. I do need some money to be able to get my bills paid and live what I would consider reasonably comfortable. I don't have any desires to be greedy and control people because I have a lot of money. I mean, that's a very dangerous thing, which some people think is apparently normal and okay. And I've experienced that a little bit in my personal life. You know, a multi-millionaire who, because he hired people for a project, thought he could tell people what to do, and even tried to tell me what to do, and he wasn't even paying me. That's a long story and I really don't want to get into it. But the arrogance of some people is just mind-boggling. You know, I'm to a point right now where, you know, I'm in those moments like, well, is this something I really need to address, or something that it's just trivial and I just, you know, blow it off? And I have to admit, in some cases, you know, I don't know how to respond in a certain moment in time. I mean, that's part of the learning process of life, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, to me, it makes sense that people should be compensated for making videos on YouTube, and not just certain select people. I mean, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I see in the workplace that there are people who are overrated, overcompensated, and the other, they're marginalized and underrated and probably underpaid, and that evaluations of what somebody's worth is based on numbers all the time. I realize there has to be some sort of process to determine, you know, how things get paid and how things, you know, how you keep the wheels in motion. And obviously, you know, we have a monetary system, and this is capitalism, and it is based on numbers. But I think we've taken it way too far and out of context, because that's when, you know, politics comes in and manipulates the situation. I mean, and I've seen some videos that, in my opinion, are quite stupid. I've seen people's videos I think are brilliant, and then there's this rating system, and they get 2 stars, and I'm going, that's a brilliant video. How could you get 2 stars? And this video over here looks kind of, it's okay, or it might even be less than average mediocre, and it's got 5 stars. I mean, it's obviously the Beer Drinking Network, or the Sewing Circle, the Click, you know, and I see that in all aspects of life, and I see it some on the internet. Is that really what we want? I mean, do we want to underrate stuff that actually is intelligent? I mean, let's say it's not just about opinions. Let's say if something really got more exposure on the internet or anywhere in our culture, would underrating it be a wise thing? Even just from a personal standpoint, but even from a business standpoint. I mean, you know, do you realize the United States is not going to be the #1 economy in the world here very shortly? It might already not be, and we just don't know it yet. But one of the facts I learned in my marketing class, which is, I have a marketing degree now, is that by 2010, China is going to have the largest economy in the world. Now, that's a statistic based on, you know, various evaluations that have been going on for some time, and again, it might not be totally accurate, but you can see the direction that everybody seems to agree that it's going. So, you know, on a personal level, what are we doing? Are we putting people on pedestals, you know, even up to the business levels of socializing, that really shouldn't be put on a pedestal? Should anybody be put on a pedestal, for that matter? I mean, yeah, revenue sharing. Why not focus on content as much or more than numbers? What do you think?